Are you already out on Love as the Packers QB?
No, I'm not going to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong. The last 3 games have not been attractive, to say the least. First couple of weeks of the season, he was the leading passer in the NFL. I mean, the way that he was balling, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions, I think, in the first 2 weeks or so. And then look at what he's done in those last 3 games. 2 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions, ranked second worst among qualifying quarterbacks in passer rating since week 3 at 55.4. That's nothing to brag at home about. We recognize that. We understand that. It's not attractive at all, but it is 3 games in, okay? This brother's been on the bench for the last 3 years. This is his first year. He's essentially a rookie, Jeff Saturday, Shannon, Sharpe, as a starter. Again, I'm not impressed. I'm not high, I'm high on the fact that he's thrown 6 interceptions, but I go back to your boy Peyton Manning. How many interceptions did he throw as a rookie? And I'm certainly not putting Jordan Love in that class, not comparing him. I'm simply saying that when this is your addition into the NFL, this is where it all begins for you. It's hard for me to look at this young brother and go like this. Nah, he's a finished product. Give on him. That's a highly premature.
Yeah.
I just think it's unnecessary. He's been struggling over the last 3 games. He's got to get it going. But in the end, do I look at him and I see a brother that can't play, that doesn't have the potential to be good? Nah, I don't see that. I saw it in the first 2 games. I haven't seen it over the last 3 games. But why would I use these last 3 games to sit up there and write his epitaph? I think that's entirely premature.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Shannon.
No, what I was going to say, I agree with you, Stephen A. He just has to understand the 16 to 30, 182, 0 touchdowns, 3 picks. And yes, he cost his team a game because even those 2 picks, he had an opportunity to redeem himself. And he's just going to have to understand, and I think this is what the really good quarterbacks do, and what the really good players do, is that they understand the type of game that they're in. So it's going to be a game that points are going to be at a premium. And so you don't take unnecessary risk. Stephen A., Saturday, when I was in games like this, there was really no fighting for extra yards because I knew a turnover could cost us the ball game. And so now you get what you get out of bounds, you get the first down, and you keep the chains moving. You don't take unnecessary risk. And that's the thing that you learned, that you saw about Tom Brady. He was good consistently. I can't remember one spectacular throw. You look at a Herbert, or you look at a Trevor Lawrence, you look at a Patrick Mahomes, these guys can wow you with throws. But Tom Brady was just consistently mundane for 23 seasons, and he got the job done because he understood the type of game that he was in early on. This is going to be a game. This might be a 14-13. This might be a 17-10 type of ball game. So me taking unnecessary risk is unnecessary. And I think that's something that Jordan Love will understand as he moves along. But you cannot turn the ball over 3 times, especially on the road, and hope to get a win.
Yeah, listen, I love it. And what you talked about, the style of game you're in, Shannon, I think needs to be kind of screamed from the tops, right? Is that this was an ugly football game. But I think that was the Packers' game plan. I think when you looked at the way they designed this game plan, they wanted to run between the tackles, right? That I'm sure Jones not being there and they expected him to be there, him not playing, mess with their game plan to a degree. But Dillon played well between the tackles. They got it. But you could tell it was like run first down, run second down, try to check it down, throw some screens on third down. They almost limited Jordan Love pushing the ball down the field. But I will also say this doesn't all fall on Jordan Love. When Watson catches that wide open pass on the sideline, that's got to go to the house. Like, you got to go score that ball, right? Like, so then you're not talking about Jordan Love. Instead, you settle for 3 instead of getting 7 right there, and the Raiders come back. Then on the interception, the last interception, when you said he throws that ball up, at some point, these are 2 young football players. It's Watson's second year in the league, right? He didn't have anybody on the roster that's been there more than 2 years so that he's throwing to. So when you're talking about growing up together, it's those moments, right? You got a 5'8", 5'9" corner on a 6 foot, weighs 6'3", whatever, however tall Watson is. Like, come back into the ball. Help me when it's not perfect. Now, some of the interceptions were blind. Like, you can't throw the ball over the middle when there's no yellow hats anywhere in the business.
That's right.
There were some bad plays. I'm not trying to absolve him.
Throwing in a triple cover.
Yeah, you can't.
Triple cover.
But there are other plays on the field that guys have to make for him. And if they do make those plays for him, we aren't discussing how he's looked because they're getting conversions, they're getting touchdowns. I think a lot of times we think, well, the quarterback's got to be perfect. He doesn't. Those other players have to make him look good in situations, and they are not right now. So it does look ugly. But I'm just telling you, that's 2. for lack of a better term, inexperienced players, right? At the end of a game, when they really have a shot, he throws a back shoulder. He didn't get enough on the ball. But come back. Like, plant your foot, come back. Maybe you get interference, but you dang sure can't fall off and let a smaller.
So you're talking about the interception at the end of the end zone where Watson didn't come back and get the ball.
Yeah. And he's falling away. But, again, as they play together longer, he'll see that ball in the air and go, wait a minute, I got to react. I got to turn back into. And the one on the sideline that he catches early in the game, Watson has to go score that ball. You can't get caught when you are literally leaving the defense. Whatever you got to do, don't get vertical, keep running at the angle, whatever it is. But when players make those plays, it makes the quarterback look so much better, man, because it's a 15-yard pass that goes for 60.
What do you make of what Parsons had to say?
Number one, we do extra on first take. So when Molly says it's a little extra, that's what we do on the first. It is not a critique. It is not an insult. It's a beautiful thing that we are extra.
You
Most
literally
people
just
ain't
said I ask questions with attitude, but carry on.
But I love it. I'm not complaining, but I love it. Okay. That's number one.
Shannon, come back to New York.
She means it. I mean, we definitely want you back in New York, but you can stay in L.A., my brother. I'm on the way. Right, here's the deal, okay? I'm on the way. Here's the deal. Listen. When you think about what Micah Parsons said, first of all, let me send this message to George Kittle, who I love, brother good ball. Say that energy for the Eagles. You already beat the Cowboys twice. Back-to-back years sent them home in the playoffs, okay? It's the Eagles that got over because I ain't seen a team in NFL history, Jeff said, they lost 4 quarterbacks in the same year. That's what happened to San Francisco. I mean, in the NFC Championship game, Christian McCaffrey lined up behind center. Yeah. You couldn't throw the football. That's who you really, really want more than anybody. You want the Eagles, number one. Number two, Micah Parsons, my brother. This brother's something special. Let me say this. I have no doubt that Micah Parsons is they're going to see San Francisco again, and they're going to have something to say. They ain't giving up 42 points again. They ain't going to get blown out like that again. But that don't mean you're going to win. I mean, we've seen Dallas' defense show up the last couple of years in the playoffs. They ain't stop you from going home. I keep telling everybody, it's going to come down to moments, and your quarterback is going to have to come through. And until you're able to say, until you're able to speak, if you're Micah Parsons, in all seriousness, I'm not even trolling, until you're able to say, my quarterback is going to see you, there's nothing you can do. I'm sure you're going to sit up there and hold the 49ers in check to some degree. They ain't going to drop 42 on you. But that don't mean you're going to be able to offset what the offense can't do. And that's where football players like Micah Parsons get themselves in trouble. That's all I got to say.
He said the T-shirt made it personal. Not the 49ers sending your ass home the last 2 years in the playoffs. That didn't make it personal. Okay? When Greenlaw, the linebacker, picked Tony Pollard up and dumped him on his dome, that didn't make it personal. You didn't look at that like, hold on. We can't allow him to do that to our running back. Oh, it's on and popping now.
Yes.
So it was the T-shirt. Now, when you was in the game, see, that's the thing about a fight, Stephen A. Oh, he got mad. You in a fight. What the hell you supposed to do? You're supposed to get mad. When you had an opportunity to do something about it, you did nothing. They went up and down the field. Stephen A. said, well, they won't drop 42 again. Why not?
Yep.
What makes you think that Dallas can stop them? Because the last 2 games, how many times did you hear Micah Parsons' name called? Sunday night and in the playoff games. I'm asking. I mean, it's not a rhetorical question, but I'm being serious.
Yeah.
They know how to neutralize him because they make him play every snap, every down.
Hold on, Shannon. What about Quinn, though? What about Quinn opposite? You explained this yesterday. I'm not stealing it from you.
Yes.
You broke it down how you got him on the left side. You're supposed to put him on the right side, away from Trent Williams. They had him on the left side going up against Trent Williams. What the hell was Dan Quinn thinking about? That had a lot to do with it. Maybe you put him on the opposite side to be more effective, Jeff.
Negative.
Go. One more thing. But here's the thing, though, Stephen A.
Okay.
The problem that they have is that Kyle attacks every blade of grass.
Yes.
So he's not playing an inept offense. This isn't the Giants. This isn't the Jets. This isn't the Patriots where they can't run the ball, and now the team just tees off on you. They make you think, and then you react, and by the time he who hesitates is beat. So while you're thinking, they're already gone. They're gone from where you thought they would be. The 49ers are a better team, they're better coached, and they play a more physical. If you watch this game close, Jeff Saturday, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Look at the physicality in which the 49ers came out there with.
Preaching. My man is preaching right now. Here is the facts. And I said this before the game. Dak was not going to be the difference maker in this game. This game was going to be decided by which team was the most physical. And you looked at that 49er football team. How many times were they stopping play to watch a Dallas Cowboy tap out, get out, walk out, whatever it was? And Shannon brought up all kind of points. Greenlaw slamming dudes down. Warner punching balls out, picking the ball off, whatever it is, right? And then flip it over to offensively. They're getting the ball downfield vertically, whether it's McCaffrey, Ayuk, whether it's Deebo Samuel. They put them in the backfield, split out McCaffrey out to the outside. They have a number of different ways. Then they motion you to death. And listen, everybody talked about Mike McCarthy and this Dak Prescott offense and how much they lauded it the first couple of weeks. He's going to dial it down. They're going to be a run first team. They want to run it more. But the problem is when you play an explosive offense like the 49ers, who have so many different guys that Shannon, you said it best, you have to defend every blade of grass. And now all of a sudden you want to slow the tempo down. Well, then you got to be physical. You have to be the most physical team on the field if that's the style you're going to play. Because CeeDee Lamb has been the only guy who has given you those type of plays with your offense. Cooks hasn't showed up. Gallups hasn't showed up as far as big explosive plays time after time. So you're asking Dak to win a situation. There ain't nothing there. That San Francisco 49ers team, to Shannon, exactly what he said, they were a better football team and they played a better game. Dallas was an inferior team that played poorly, so the score got – so they may not score 42. Don't be surprised if 35 gets hung on you.
Oh,
there's a reason that they're opening this thing up, and dudes are those Kittle throws weren't like tight throws.
But you guys know this better than me. It is rare when you see a team get annihilated like that. Again, we look at the Dallas Cowboys. They ain't the Giants, okay? We see what the Giants are sorely lacking from a talent perspective. We don't view Dallas in that regard.
But the losses that we've seen,
right?
Arizona physically handled it to them, and the 49ers physically. So it's those type of teams that are going to make Dallas look that way. But
listen to my point, though. What I'm asking, I'm saying it's rare that you see a team get annihilated twice in the same season like that. This usually, I'm anticipating a better showing, albeit a loss.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not predicting they're going to beat the 49ers. I still see a loss, but I think they'll put forth a better showing the second go-round. And to me, if that's the reality, then you're going to find yourself in a situation where it's going to be more competitive, and it's going to come out of those moments that I alluded to.